everybody. I'm just gonna, okay, go away. Go away, little message. I don't like you.
I think we...
Oh. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna have to stare at that message. How's everybody doing tonight? I know some of you are waiting, and we'll wait a couple minutes for people to come on. Oh yeah, see? There we are.
Wow, it's a delay.
It's weird.
Weird delay.
I have an iPad over here on my left. And
Weird delay.
I have an iPad over here on my left. And
Weird delay.
I have an iPad over here on my left. And
Weird delay.
I have an iPad over here on my left. And
Weird delay.
I have an iPad over here on my left. And
Weird delay.
that's gonna be it. So first question, can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me? Somebody, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Post a message.
Yeah, there's a major delay on that.
Wow.
Anybody? Just one. Yes, great.
Awesome.
Yay.
Thank you.
Woo! Okay. So this is my second ever YouTube live. And I have a friend with me tonight. Thanks guys. Wonderful. So I'm still working out the kinks. I've spent a lot of time like researching all the different things that I want to
Hi, Karen.
try to do. Thank you.
Sorry.
Oh, don't be sorry. And I still haven't figured it all out. So I really, really wanted to start tonight like with my face and looking at you and talking to you so you could see me and that I'm real. But I don't have any fancy way of, transitioning the camera once we're ready to paint. So you're going to go on a little ride with us when I have to finally switch the camera around. Hey, switch the camera around and do kind of the top down shot. So bear with me until I can figure out how to learn things faster. So how's everybody doing tonight? And also, I have no idea where to look. I'm often like looking over here, and I'm sorry that they probably think I'm supposed to look like right there.
Okay, so to the left.
Yeah, to the left, because that's where the camera is.
To the left.
To the left, to the left. Okay, so let me explain a little bit. Yay! Glad you're excited. Let me explain a little bit about what tonight is all about. So, I'm sorry, the screen over here is distracting me so bad. Like I said, there's an iPad over here and there's a huge delay and I keep seeing movement and it's hysterical. Anyway, so tonight, hi from Sweden.
Wow.
Yay. Yeah, we had a lot of international folks
That's great.
last week.
Wow.
It was cool. So anyway, yes, tonight. So I have Raina here because Raina has some watercolor experience. She has a couple of my past books and she is kind of fearless in everything and also in watercolor. She kind of just dive into things, which I love, but at the same time, she doesn't have like a ton of experience. So I thought, how cool would it be? Hi from Alabama. Hi, Janice. I thought it'd be super fun to kind of do a side-by-side paint along with Raina. So she can like paint with me exactly what I'm doing and ask questions, and you guys can ask questions. And the other thing that's going to be fun about tonight is that you've never painted with one of these, right?
No, I don't know what that is.
It's
a
Hi
slanty
from Florida.
brush.
Hi, Susan. It's a slanty brush.
Slanty brush.
So tonight, Raina is going to
No.
paint with the infamous Dagger Brush. So don't be scared. You're scared of nothing.
No, you're right.
It's black. So it is. Yeah, I wish they would actually do it in white. It would make my heart happy. Because it's really not a very exciting look. I'm sorry, Royal Brush Art. I love your brushes, but make them in fun colors, please.
Coming from an artist.
Make the Kristy Rice edition.
There you go.
With a white handle. You hear me, Royal Brush Art? A white handle and a rose gold barrel. Yeah, anyway, aside.
That's a great idea.
I know.
You should make your own brushes.
I've tried.
Who would like her own brushes? Wouldn't that be great?
Right? Yes, Patricia Wright and Danielle, that would be an amazing, amazing brush. And like the writing on the side would be like in rose gold. Yeah. Anyway, wow. So let's get on with it. So, right on. Yeah. So anyway, does anybody on so far have the new book, Art for Joy's Sake journal? Anybody got it yet? I'd love to hear if you do. We'll just wait a couple seconds to see if anybody has it. Not yet. Yeah, I know. It was just Monday that they started shipping. Not yet. Okay. So, yes. Okay. Louise has it. Oh, wow. Lucky Louise. No one else does. Yes. And Janice. And you have the number 4 dagger. 2 of them. That's right. Yeah. I have about 17 of them.
Really?
I find them everywhere in my house and my studio.
Wow,
I have so many of them. Heading to Amazon. Yes. So, okay. So for you guys that have the book, maybe you have a favorite page pattern from the book. If you do, let me know, by the name. Or you could be like the one with the tomatoes or the one with the plums if you don't know the actual name. But what I want you guys to do, let me back up. Okay. I really hate how that's backwards. So annoying.
I could do it forwards. Oh, it won't matter.
No, it won't matter. No, it won't matter. Wow. Technical difficulties in our brains. Don't know if it's released in Sweden yet. I really, I'm kind of kept in the dark, not purposely. I just don't know much about the international distribution, the early stages. So I'm going to flip through, and then I want you to vote. So here's one we could paint tonight. It's got some cool like sedum and tomatoes and a dahlia. This one is like roses and kumquats. So keep watching because I want you guys to tell us which one you want us to do tonight. Then we have pomegranates. It's one of my favorites. Pomegranates. Hi, Wendy. Book is on the way. Yay! Pomegranates and figs and more kumquats. Apparently, I was going through a kumquat phase when I was writing this book.
What is a kumquat? I don't think I've ever had
It's a little tiny orange that apparently you can pop the whole thing in your mouth. I've never tried one. I'm scared because the idea of like biting into orange rind. No.
Aw. That's funny.
Yeah, pomegranate fence. The big dahlia we could do. Okay, we got 1 vote for pomegranate and figs. We've got, that's big dahlia again, because double-sided pages. Pomegranate, yeah, everybody. I have a feeling we're going to be, this is a favorite, the plums and the peonies. Plums and peonies.
You know that's the one I want to do.
I know. I don't know if that's going to happen. I think it might go to the pomegranates. This is just like my crazy kind of southwestern cherry blossom, which is a completely insane juxtaposition. Rose and pomegranate. Okay. They're so sweet, kumquats. Don't be scared. Okay, good to know. Good to know. I shouldn't be scared of the kumquat.
No?
Okay. Nope, she said they're so sweet.
Okay.
Oh, we have a vote for plums and 2 votes for plums and peony.
Yeah, I like you people.
Okay, the rind of the kumquat are very tasty.
A sharp taste.
Next time I'm going to bring kumquats. Are they in season in Pennsylvania or in the stores?
We'll find them. Amazon.
And bring.
Do they give food?
Not here. We live way out in the way out. Here's another one with cactus and some like a little bit like a Day of the Dead kind of feel. I love this one. Let's see, are we getting any other votes? As people are still coming on. And then oranges, pomegranate. I think the pomegranates are going to win. Oranges, this is another one of my favorite pages. Only like 2 more or 1 more. So poppies and peonies is the last one. So we'll just give it a couple seconds and see if anybody has any more votes. It's okay. Another plum. There's 3 plum and peony votes, but there were way more pomegranate and figs. Oh, we got a poppies and peonies.
Which one do you want to do?
I'm feeling the pomegranate and fig.
All right, I like that because it looks like there's a big space for me to paint with this big brush.
But see, okay. Nice intro. segue. That's what we call it. A
Okay.
segue. So she said, "Oh, let's do the." Change my mind to Poppy. Ah, I still think pomegranate is the winner. So Raina was like, "Oh, that'll be good. It's a big pomegranate, and I'm gonna be able to use this big brush." So,
Because this is what I normally use.
because
This
yeah,
is the
you
brush
need
I normally
to
use.
stop
It's a
using-
teeny tiny
it's
brush.
too teeny tiny for.
Ugh.
Okay, so for those who have used another Poppies. Oh, I'm gonna keep talking for a little bit. For those who have used my Dagger Brush, I'm just gonna call it my Dagger Brush because I think I'm probably responsible for a quite vast majority of the sales of this brush.
Claim it, girl.
I'm kidding.
Claim it.
I don't know. I'm kidding. I'm being a goof. But for those of you who have used it, can you chime in right now and kind of just say, like, talk about like the versatility? You can make thick lines with it. You can make thin lines with it. So tell me about it. Tell me about it. Because the one thing I love about this brush, okay, it's time to put the book down, is the very tip. Let me see if I can get the camera to focus. This very tip right there. You can make super thin lines with.
Oh.
You just can't use a lot of pressure.
Oh.
And then, you know, all along this edge, if you press down, you can make thick lines with.
Get out.
So you literally,
I'm gonna like this.
one brush, if you only could pick one brush forever and ever, amen. You guys know I love it. I have both sizes, but I'm still learning. Yeah, there's a learning curve for sure. Yeah, it's a Dagger Brush. It's a Dagger Brush. Tutorial on how you do the bun.
Oh yes, Kristy's famous bun. Absolutely.
Don't tempt me, because do you want to hear a funny story?
Go for it.
So I was going on television once. I was in New York City. I was going on television, and like I was so super nervous. I'm sorry. I promise I'll get back to the brush. See, you guys, now that I'm live, now that I'm starting to go live, you're gonna see my real personality come out. And ooh.
She's got a great personality.
So I was about to go on TV, and I was so nervous. And they had given me, like, I don't know, it was like a glass of champagne or something. And I really don't drink. I think it was just supposed to be like a nice gesture. So I think I kind of like had a bunch of swallows of the champagne, and I was like, woo! Like I was just feeling, I wasn't like drunk or buzzed or anything. So I just thought it was funny. I went live on Instagram live as I was doing my hair, getting ready for this TV spot. And it was like the most popular live feed I ever did on Instagram. It was hysterical, and people still ask me about it. So anyway, yeah, maybe someday I'll do that again. I don't know. We might have to bring champagne toast next time to make that happen. Anyway, back to the Dagger Brush. I'm going to talk a lot about the Dagger tonight because I usually only kind of like touch on it. I love the Dagger. Love the shading you can do, she says, and also the thin lines you can make. Yes. So I am going to talk about the Dagger Brush. I'm assuming a lot tonight because it's your first time. They can't see you.
It's okay.
They can't see you.
I'm here.
We had to get cozy because like, don't do that. The company is Royal and Lang Nickel. So Royal, like a crown, and Lang, L-A-N-G, nickel, like the money. In the information section of this broadcast, I have a link to the brush. I think they're having stock issues with the brush currently because I can only find it on Amazon in a pack of 6, but it's well worth it. Just pick up the pack of 6. It's like $21. And you'll have brushes like for a long time, and you can give them away. And they're a very, very affordable brush. Otherwise, they have it on Walmart, and one is like $10. They're normally like under $3 a piece. So I'm not sure what's going on with them right now. You can't even get them on their website, on the Royal Brush website. So anyway, I do have links down there for you. Okay, so any questions before we get started? I only have the flat and the round. Will it show how to make it work when the time comes in the lesson? So is your question that you would like to see us paint with a round or a flat brush at some point tonight? If that's the question, yeah, sure. I got them here. We can do that for sure. So if I forget, somebody remind me. Okay. You have a round one right there. I have one up here. It's fine.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead with the pomegranate and fig page. I'm still going to be able to answer questions. It may not be, I'm not going to be looking at the comment screen. So, you know, I may miss a question, and I'm sorry if I do. I will go through and answer it later. Actually,
Maybe I can
Raina,
look at
can
mine.
you
Yeah, pull it up.
just, you don't even have to look at it. Just set it down here and I can be looking,
Okay.
because unfortunately I'm seeing here on my iPad, it's not showing me the live chat, which is super annoying. I'm annoyed with that. Okay. Turn that down too. Okay.
Live chat. Okay, I can see everything.
Yeah,
now.
if you could see everything.
Yes, ma'am.
That would be awesome. Okay. All right.
Nice and
So
bright.
let's get started, guys. It's going to be like, what size dagger? It's a 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch.
Bye.
Your dagger doesn't hold much water. Huh. That's odd. You might be more used to kind of a sop brush that really fills up with water. So that you might just need to go back and dip into your water more often. That might be the thing, but I'll try to address that tonight. So we're about to go into a little bit of turmoil here because I'm gonna flip the camera around. I wish so much that there was an option to like pause the screen so you guys didn't have to see this, but it's, we're gonna go on a little ride here, so bear with me, and I'm gonna flip the camera around. It's pretty nuts. Oh, it's showing the ceiling. You see that, guys?
Oh no.
Why is it doing that?
Did we have it wrong?
No.
We had it facing toward us so we could see us.
We did.
So we didn't, you didn't switch it. It's okay.
But it should be able to flip. You know what I'm saying? Like when you, oh, there it is. Hello, dirt. I got it. We're going for a little more of a ride, guys. Bear with me. I'm sorry. So sorry. All right. Yeah. You guys all right? You seasick yet? Hope not. How's that looking?
Why is the wire in the way? Oh, okay.
It's not. I flipped it around.
Got it. Wonderful. All right.
Oh, it's upside down.
What do you mean?
It's so annoying. Sorry, guys. I will get this. Can you see if anybody's commenting? I will get this at some... orientation is locked. Thank you so much. Silly.
Zoom in a bit, they said.
Zoom in a bit, yeah.
Camila. Zoom in a bit more.
Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties.
We're going to be cozy painting.
Oh, we're going to be real
Have you ever
cozy.
been this cozy with somebody painting?
What did somebody just say? Somebody just said something.
Don't forget to thumbs up, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Thumbs
Thank
up?
you.
Aw.
I need the thumbs up. We need the thumbs up.
Which one are we doing?
This one.
Okay.
Yeah, you hit the little... I don't know what you do to do the thumbs up. Somebody instruct.
I can only see yours.
I know, we're getting there.
Okay.
We'll get there.
No, that's
we'll get
fine
there.
with me.
Shh, no. We need to see both of these in action.
I just got my book last night. I don't know which page it's on. Okay.
I don't either.
Break the binding. Okay.
So I'll be super honest, guys. If any of you are like, girl, I know how to fix your problems. Here, put this under here. And oh yeah, you could. That's no,
Okay.
but then you're upside down.
Okay.
No, put it that way. We'll just put the palette right on top there.
Wonderful. You're so
No,
smart.
you need to show more.
Mm.
You need to show more. Silliness. All right. So anyway, what I was saying is, if any of you guys like know how to fix my my technology woes and know better than me about something, don't hesitate to educate me. Okay, keep watching that. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you have your own water.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm gonna actually like just kind of go over this a little bit because whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna start the way I always love to start. Two things. I love to start with just clean water, usually on the page in an area where I'm gonna get things moving. Number two, you asked me this question the other night, Raina. You were like, how do I know where to start? The right place to start. Now, you guys know me. What do I say about the right way to do something? There really isn't a right way, right? No rules, no right. Remember joy. Hashtag that, guys. I'm trying to get that hashtag going. Art for Joy's sake hashtag is like off and running, but we need to get that other one going. Okay, so the point is, start on the page in a place that you're most excited about.
Well, that would be the pomegranate.
Well, that's what you're most excited about. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That is actually what I'm most excited about as well. So we're lucky.
I do love berries though too.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go with the pomegranate.
All right. Do I have to do exactly what you do? Can I, with the same colors
No, you
and
can do what
everything?
you want.
Well, I just want to know what you want me to do.
I kind of want you to do what I'm gonna do because I want people to see like
I'm
kind of teaching you.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let's
brush.
get on with this. So get the water on the page.
I need another camera.
Scrub it around. You're fine. Just get the water on that pomegranate. Okay, all up in there. Like, try to stay in the lines. This is just one technique, guys. There's not one way to start painting. I'm going all the way up, all the way around the pomegranate. You can always look at the screen over there too.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Right? All right. Keep going, keep going. Okay.
Are you guys actually painting with us? This is so cool.
I don't know if anybody's painting.
Are you watching or are you painting?
I don't know. Okay, so I chose a red. That was fast, wasn't it?
Whoa.
And I'm dotting red.
What color?
All over. That one. Just a red. Don't worry about which one.
And now, okay.
Okay. But ask questions. I may not like answer them because I want to push you and encourage you.
Great. Me?
Now get more water on your brush and start clean and kind of smudge everything together a little bit. But still, you're dabbing.
I am still dabbing.
We don't want to scrub this paper, guys. We never want to scrub this paper.
More water, really?
Yeah, more water. Yes, more water. That should be another hashtag I start. More water. Hashtag more water. What, Erin? Anybody have questions? Here, let me watch it, cause No, Janice is painting. Just watching is therapy.
You put yellow in there already?
I put a little yellow.
Okay.
And the page is wrinkling right in that area. Don't freak out. Don't worry. It's not a big deal. It's paper and water has hit it. It is supposed to wrinkle a little. Okay. I'm grabbing all different reds. I'm dabbing. All right. Now go into the other areas.
I didn't put water on that yet.
Yeah, put water on the other areas. Glad you guys are some of you are painting along. That's exciting. You guys might be wondering, like, oh my gosh, like, how do I need to have a reference image next to me of what a pomegranate looks like? No. You have a reference image in the new book. It's directly to the left of how I did it, but you don't need to exactly follow me either.
I have a question. How do I hold this brush?
How do you hold the brush?
So I hold it with the tip up.
If you're okay, so there's a lot of different ways you can hold the brush. Let me talk about.
Stupid question?
No, it's a very smart question.
Okay.
I don't know. I did something help me.
It's okay. Gotcha.
Okay, I'm going to bring a scrap paper in here for you guys to see, because the question was, how do I hold the brush? So, a couple of things. If you want really fine lines, load up your brush and using very little pressure, touching just the very tip, make fine line. But see,
ooh,
I'm kind of at like a little bit of an angle. If you want thick lines, go almost perpendicular to the page and
that doesn't
press down. Well, you're at those actually are very good lines given the awkward angle you're at.
And then, like, to use your pinky to, like,
I often, yeah, that's one of my kind of signatures.
Okay.
I put the pinky here, and the pinky is like helps steady my hand.
Gotcha. Okay.
So a lot of different, depending, you can hold it like this, and you could hold it like this, and you could hold it all different. Sometimes I'll hold it like almost like flat parallel with the page and go like this and make interesting marks.
That's pretty.
Flip it and make totally different mark.
Yeah.
You know, so many different ways to hold the brush.
You put blue in there too.
I put a little blue in there. I did. So my thing is keep the page wet. When you're adding these washes, keep the page wet. So you can always go back over with very clean water and re-wet the page.
See, sometimes I feel like when the page crumbles up like this, I do something wrong. And
No.
I kind of let it dry, and then I come back to it another day.
Nope. No, the page is supposed to crumple. It's paper, people. It's paper. So it's gonna crumple. I mean, even when I use the best of the best Arches watercolor paper, it's still like a normal way Arches watercolor paper. It still wrinkles.
Yeah, what about that?
Well, I kind of like that. Like that area, let it dry like that.
All right, cool.
I think that's cool. Let it be. Okay, so I'm gonna just dab a little bit more into this. Something I love to do, I have a video on here about contrast detailing. This is a great time to do contrast detailing. The very tip of the brush loaded up with a bright color or contrasting color, and just rub it, that's not the right way to say that. Drag it along one of the edges. Load up your brush with clean water and kind of dab right next to that line of strong color you just made, and let it kind of float out into the rest of the pomegranate. It's just a really fun way to add some depth and some shading. I just caution you to not outline the whole item that you're painting, because then it looks like no. Well, stop. just stop there and do a little more blendy blend.
Okay.
Yeah. You can also go back in while still wet and add even another contrasting color. I'm just adding a little blue from my palette, and I'm dabbing, no stroking, just dabbing. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I love contrast detailing. It's like my favorite. Yeah, oh, that's beautiful. Now put a little blue.
I made purple.
Yeah.
Blue in here.
I would put a little like blue right on the edge. That's what I did. And then let it bleed out. Dab more than stroke. Yeah. Yeah, that looks good. All right, moving on. So I'm digging the kumquats. So I'm gonna get in there. Where's my orange? The orange is hiding because we have a tight situation here. Another technique you can try. So this one was wet and wet. We wet the peach first and added wet color. Another technique, guys, is wet on dry. So I loaded up my brush with orange, any old orange. You guys know I don't like to tell you the paint colors because I just want you to use what you have. And I'm going in with the broad side of my brush. So that's the side of the brush that is kind of, lengthy. And I'm just going to start painting in some really bright orange. I might switch to the tip of your brush to get into those little nooks and crannies. I'm just painting bright orange. Okay, now you're going to immediately feel that's not as wet as what you were doing before. So if you want to add any secondary color, now's the time to do it. I'm dabbing in a little yellow. This is much more intense here. I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm kind of feeling like it's too heavy. So I'm going to take a wet brush of clean water and just drag some of the color down and over into the other kumquat. See how I did that? I just dragged some of the color down with clean water. Can even drop clean water into those first kumquats that you put color on to kind of start spreading things out. It's so fun. All the different ways that you can apply color and move color around the page. I love it so much. Well, let's see.
I'll put a little red.
Yeah, a little red. I'm going to follow Raina now, put a little red. Oh, is anybody questioning?
Are you thinking about shadows / lighting while you are painting? From Katie.
Am I thinking about shadows? I am a little bit, honestly, but more than anything, I'm just thinking about interesting textures. Now, right here, I was thinking about a shadow because This kumquat is on top of this kumquat. I'll say that again. This kumquat is on top of this kumquat. So I wanted to create a little shading there. I just decided to do it with an intense red. I could always add a little blue to make that a little bit more, a smidge more natural looking, if you will.
Did you dab them with the paper towel?
No, ma'am. Oh. It's just the paint is a little thicker and more opaque, so it has a different texture.
Somebody said hashtag wrinkle paper.
Yeah,
okay.
man.
That's a really good one.
Janice. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Hashtag what is it?
Wrinkle paper is
wrinkle
okay.
Paper is okay. Woo! Yes. Okay. So I really feel now, like I say it all the time, paint in a way that motivates you to keep painting, right? Because I'm sorry, I think I keep hitting the light stand with my foot, and it's making everything dance. So I apologize.
Dancing's fun. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's art.
So what was I saying? Paint in a way that keeps you motivated to keep painting. That's huge. Because at this point, like, you might think, oh, I should probably like do more of the red things or more of the orange things, or like traditional art rules or lessons, watercolor lessons might tell you to keep working around the page. And but I say this: work in a way, do the next thing that you decide to do on the page, have it be something that excites you, not something that you feel like you have to do. Okay. So right now I'm really feeling like I need to see green. I just feel like green needs to happen for me to be remaining excited about the situation of what's on this page. So I'm going to go ahead and start adding some green.
I love green. See, when I paint, I shut up.
That's really weird.
Because I focus and concentrate. And
you never shut up.
No, you're absolutely right.
It's really weird.
I mean,
I say that with all the love. I just started painting a kumquat green. How about that?
That's fun. You always said to just, you can paint anything, any color that you want.
I don't know how I feel about that.
That's
but
fine.
I'm going to scoop that out. Here's a good lesson. Clean water on the brush. See, I have the green kumquat. Just kind of scoop up what you put down that you don't like. Okay, let's start over. I added clean water to the area I don't like, drying off my brush, and now scooping up all that moisture and along with it most of the color.
Like a vacuum. Just sucks it right up.
A lot of people use the paper towel directly on the page. I do that very sparingly. I'm not a big fan of a paper towel directly on the page. I'm just not.
Why?
It changes the texture and kind of changes the texture of the watercolor finish. It almost imprints the paper towel texture onto the watercolor, and that's not me. Okay, so here's a happy accident. I put the orange down over top of the area that I had green and fixed, and now the orange is bleeding into that leaf.
I'll save you.
I don't want to be saved. I like it, and I'm going to leave it.
Okay.
I love unexpected color in unexpected places. So
that's a good hashtag.
Any questions, guys? A little quiet tonight.
I
want to hear a question. Yeah,
we're going to town.
I would love to answer your questions. I'm hoping you guys can see this enough. If you want me to like try to zoom in a little more, I can try to do that. But yeah, just let me know if you have questions. I'd love to hear it.
You're doing a great job, Kristy.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. I put some yellow in my leaves. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. So I'm just adding more green. I'm doing a wet brush onto dry paper again.
Wet brush, dry paper.
Yep, wet brush, dry paper.
I forgot to take my...
Can I leave a little green to show that the fruit is not completely ripe yet? Yes, you may. I love painting fruit that is like not fully ripe because it is just such a great way to add more interest to your painting. I love that. Sure, I can tell you more about the new journal. So there are, I believe, I know it sounds weird that I don't know how many of these watercoloring pages are in the journal, but right towards the end of the journal um, editing process, we kind of like changed the number of things. And so I think it's 9. There's 9 watercoloring pages. The pages are double-sided. Let me see if I can show you a little shot of this without my paint completely running. So there's that. You can kind of see over here.
I can grab another book.
It's the same. Oh yeah, can you grab another book?
We have a couple books here.
Yeah, we're waiting on a shipment of them, but so I'm doing fine. So yeah, so 9 of these watercoloring pages double-sided. Thank you. And so that is super fun. Next to each of the 9 watercoloring pages are a sample page that I've done. So there you go. There's one of them. So you can see exactly how I painted that particular page. This is something people have been asking for forever since I did Painterly Days in 2016. They wanted to see how I painted the page or how other people painted the page. So we did that. Let's see. Super exciting part of the journal are these exercises. And for you loyal YouTube fans and followers, you recognize these circles because this was an exercise that I did here on YouTube. And I went ahead and expanded on it a little bit for the book. So there are, I think, 10 exercise pages where I really encourage you to dig a little deeper into your art making experience.
This page scares me.
Don't let it scare you.
Because there's nothing on it.
Oh, somebody said here, Viva paper towels in the single roll have no texture. And that Home Depot and Lowe's have a blue paper towel that have no texture. Very good point. Love it. Thank you. So Raina just said that the blank page scares her. And I'm actually really glad that she said that. And
You're not going to make me do something tonight, right?
I don't know.
Like
Maybe.
a blank page. Oh,
Maybe.
Boy. Look at that big.
So anyway, a lot of people are terrified of, the blank page. So scary. But I get it. I'm not mocking you at all. I get it. So in this book, my hope is to give you the gumption.
I love that word.
The gumption.
Yeah.
Hashtag
gumption.
Hashtag gumption to attack some of these pages, these blank pages. And I'll say this. I know also I love books and I love the feel of them. And when I have a new book, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do anything that might ruin the book or damage the book or, mess it up. So I know the feeling too that you might have, that you want to keep these pages pristine until you feel your art skills are worthy.
Right. I've been there.
Worthy of these blank pages. You are worthy right now.
Amen.
You are. You are. So when you get this book, I am fine with you, and I will encourage you to, in the beginning, stick a scrap piece of paper in between every single page in this book. If that'll make you feel better, so that when you open up the book to do an exercise, you have a little bit of scrap paper that you are confronted with first, that you can kind of warm up and kind of get your groove on. But then go at it. Go at the real page. Go at it. So you are equipped. You are right now to make worthy art on these pages. So yeah, I'm just kind of flipping through and showing you guys a little bit more. I have a list of quick reads to jumpstart your creativity. If you're in a rut, these are like amazing books that you could literally just like open up the page almost and read anywhere in the book and get inspired. I talk a little bit about tools here. And then there's these pages, which were a really interesting and difficult aspect of the design process with my editors, because these pages describe, number one, the watercoloring pages give you a little bit of tips about painting, what colors and what materials I use to paint those example pages. and the techniques I use. But at the same time, these pages throughout the book tell the story of yet another aspect of the journal, which are just the art pages and these quote pages. So there are about 10 of these throughout the book, 9 or 10, where it's just some of my original artwork that I've never published before, and a favorite quote incorporated. And so there's a description here, a story behind this artwork, and these quotes included. And last but not least in the book are 2 sections on, let me find them, on throwing an art party. So
this is an art party.
Well, this is an art party. Absolutely.
Virtual party.
Absolutely. So I talk a little bit about painting party. I have 2 of my absolute favorite recipes in the book.
Really?
Yeah, my bruschetta, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can I have that tonight?
No.
Okay.
No. No, because I'm not eating flour.
Oh, that's right.
No bread. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
Yeah, so I have 2 recipes in the book, and talk a little bit about how to throw a painting party and throw it together. So yeah, there you go. There's a little run through. So let's get back to painting. I love this flower up here. I think it's a morning glory, if I remember correctly.
I always have a problem with this flower because it's the same. It's like the same petals, and I never like the way mine turn out. And
Why?
I
what about it don't you like?
Maybe it's just the flower that I don't like.
Okay.
There's not enough texture. That's your word, right? Texture?
Okay. All right.
There we go.
Okay. So Raina is saying that this kind of flower, which is, I mean, morning glory or not, it's just kind of a basic 5-petaled flower. And you're saying maybe there's not enough texture. So to that end, let's start. I'm going to show everybody something. I'm just going to do clean water again. Don't freak out if your water is not perfectly clean. Mine certainly is not. Yeah, Karen, I love them too. Karen and I love morning glories, Raina.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
I think
What's your problem? What's your problem?
My problem?
Yeah, with morning glories.
My mother told me that they choke all the flowers out. Aren't they the flowers that grow at nighttime and they twist around all the other flowers?
Well, they are vine-y,
Yeah.
vine-like. Maybe they do. Anyway, Karen and I like them, so
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, wet morning glory.
Okay, it's wet.
And then I'm going to dab in some blue, dab and drag, like drag and dab right around the edge. And let it on its own, just the inertia of that water and the paint, do the rest. Don't kind of work the color into the middle.
Ooh, this is pretty.
Isn't that fun?
I've never painted a flower blue.
Oh, morning glories. They're blue and purple, right?
I think some are white.
In some areas, I'm loading up with a lot more color and doing that contrast detailing.
Pull.
The key to the contrast detailing, guys, is to almost straddle the line between the dry edge of the flower and the wet edge. You get a much more interesting effect.
You're interesting.
Am I?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Cool. Mine doesn't look like yours.
Well,
What did I
it's
do
not-
wrong?
Nothing. I mean, maybe like with, ooh,
That's okay.
dropped water on your page. Maybe scoop out some of that
Blue?
the blue in the center. Yeah, just scoop it out. Now,
Oh boy.
it's okay.
Now
Okay,
it's wet.
stop.
I'm stopping.
Blot,
Blot.
rinse,
Rinse.
like rinse good. Rinse like you mean it. And put some
Color
on
in the
there.
bottom though.
Oh, okay. And put some water on there. Put more water on there.
Whoa, it's super soaked now.
Okay, now I don't do this a lot. Paper towel it, paper towel it, paper towel it. See,
It's like an eraser.
you're back to
Beautiful.
back
Love you.
to life, back to reality. Sorry.
We're both singers.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we like to sing.
Blue is my favorite color, so thanks for that. You're welcome. Kristy, have you ever done digital kits of your art for others to paint? Oh, so like, you mean like send out like a printable of my artwork so that you can go and print them on watercolor paper? Was that the question? Ouch, I just jammed my finger. Someone says hashtag, oh, Janice, I love you and your hashtags. Gumption, hashtag gumption. I used to be scared of blank pages too, but getting better. Good.
Okay.
Try my suggestion, putting scrap paper in between each page of the book that you're working in. So I love this question about the digital kits of your art for others to paint. I think that is fantastic. I have done little freebies here and there of pages that you can print at home. But you might be on to something, Laurie. You might be on to something. I really dig it. Okay, anyway. I'm going to think about that. So, Morning Glory. A little bit of yellow on the tip of your brush. Yes, do it. Do the same with some scrap paper. There's something about it. I just added yellow to the center. There's something about adding the scrap paper in. I need this. I think I don't know where I put
my water's gone because you took it off. So
and my yellow got a little crazy, so I'm gonna rein it in here.
And then I just need more water in this.
Yes, Lori. Yes. Amen. Wow. You like yellow.
Well, you dabbed it off, so I forgot when I was putting it on.
Oh, okay. It's fine.
Should I just put some more water?
You could blot. It's gonna turn green soon, so be careful.
Oh, that's right. Yellow
it's gonna start. So I would blot. Like get in there like you mean it.
But I want to see. Okay.
It's going green. It's not like a tragedy. I'm just like trying to help you anticipate what's about to happen.
All right.
Any ideas for a smaller version of Painterly Days for watercolor on the go? Hey, can you grab one of the
little ones?
The note card?
I haven't seen those.
There's one on my desk, right there. That's open. Right there above the phone. Above the phone. But it's a box.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the question was, any
this?
ideas for a smaller set from Painterly Days? So actually, the big idea, and it's already been done. And it's out now for sale on Amazon. We did it through Schiffer. I'm like getting all tangled up. Can you put the lid back on because I want to show them the lid. So, like I said, available on Amazon right now. And it's a set of note cards. I'm trying to get these like back into order. Let me show them that. So this is what it looks like. Pretty box with the rose gold foil. If you recognize this artwork from the pattern.
Good.
Thanks, buddy. I've got like a production assistant here. This pattern is from the pattern Painterly Days. So there's 12 cards. They are printed on a more textured watercolor paper. And ooh, yeah, I like that. I like that idea. Someone's saying you can sell PDFs of your artwork to watercolor. One page would not be so scary if someone wants to try. The shipping to Sweden is $39. Downloading is perfect for outside the US. Yeah. Anyone else have a cat in attendance? My Siamese keeps looking between me and the screen. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love cats. So anyway, these are available now. So head to Amazon and pick up a set. I'll show you. So this is from Woodland. These are the mushrooms. And this is a pomegranate and orange and plumeria. These are columbines from Floral Book. Columbine and, no, I'm sorry. This is from Kristy's Cutting Garden. Columbine and berries. Thank you, buddy. Oh, passion flower. I love the passion flower. The blackberries.
I love berries. Berries are fun.
And the strawberry page. That was from, I think we did that in Woodland. And this is just figs and leaves, one of my favorite pages. This is one of the all-time favorite pages, so we had to include it in this set. The anemones.
Sea anemones?
No, flower anemones.
Oh, I never heard of
Spelled
that.
the same, I believe. This is another super popular pattern. It's just lots of little whimsical blooms, really fun. The big peony. Everybody loves the peony.
Yes.
Peonies and butterflies.
That's pretty.
And then just a really fun berries page. And then on the back is a little bit more of the artwork and kind of like a frame. So you can have fun with that and actually use these for correspondence if you want. So yeah, this is what you want. And they come with envelopes. There's a fun little, when you open it up, there's the envelopes, a little wrap. There's a little informational page in there. So yeah, So they exist. They already happened. So thank
Yay.
you for asking. I'm forgetting about them because, you know, the book, it's a book and I keep focusing on the book. Thank you so much. So yeah, back to painting. Thanks, Raina.
You're welcome.
I lost my brush.
Is this it? No, it's right here.
Okay.
And I think
Thank you.
I think this will be mine because we got some color on it.
Oh, it's okay.
Yay.
The backdrop, you mean?
When you set it down, I got a
Oh.
little color on it, so I'm like, yes.
Oh, that set. Yes.
Yep.
I get what you're putting down.
Very happy
I'm
right
picking
now.
up what you're putting
You're
down.
good. You're good.
Okay, awesome. All right, back to painting. Is there a section on the page that you guys would like to see me paint? Or see Raina paint for that matter?
No.
Any specific areas that you'd like to see me do? I might just at this point kind of like have at it and get a lot more color on the page, and you can ask questions as I go. Let me know if you have any ideas. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going. Let's do the fig.
This brush opens up a whole world.
Yes, ma'am. So I'm doing wet on dry. I just picked up a little bit of a golden color. Not too much coverage. I'm going to do a little bit of, where's my purple? I need like a purpley something. Oh, here it is. Yeah. A little bit of purple. Again, wet on dry. And I'm going to surround that golden tone with
Oh, I did it wrong.
a purple. There's no wrong. I don't like that word.
Okay, sorry.
That's not a good word.
All right. I'll add some gold.
Yeah.
It'll look fine.
Okay, stop scrubbing over it.
Okay.
Only because when I see people do that kind of repeated motion over and over again, it means that you're like ruminating. You don't know what to do next. Use that more like, yeah. The berries. What color would you do? Ah, yes. The other question is, how do you control painting to the edge of the page since your illustrations go to the edge? I do not use a mixing palette. I do not. Okay, 3 really good questions. So the berries, I was probably going to do more of a traditional blueberry. I'll just do one right now. But I do love to, I'm just adding water to this little cluster here. I do love to make some of the berries not ripe. So I'm going to start just by dabbing in some green
Do you paint
in
like
places.
When, excuse me, when we're doing these little berries, do I use the point?
I
I
would.
have to use the point, right?
You it depends. You want to use the point when you need to get into smaller areas. So that kind of instinct will come.
Okay.
The more you paint, the more you'll realize, because you'll paint something and you'll be going all out of the lines and you'll feel so out of control, and then you'll realize I should have used the tip.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
I got blue on the brush now, and I'm just gonna dab it in, scrub it around lightly into some of the areas, loading up again, just color, not more water, and getting that blue in there. Rinsed my brush, blotted it a little bit, and now I'm going in and pulling some of that blue into this final berry here. And then I'm probably going to have almost a dry brush and grab a last bit of blue really loaded up and dab it into some of the little areas where the berries meet to give a quick sense of depth and shading. Now, when that dries, I probably will come back to that and add some more detail.
What I love about your books is even the painting that I've done years ago. I look at the page and I'm like, oh, that's horrible. And then I can get new paint and go over the pages that I've already painted and outline everything and make them so much more beautiful.
Yeah, so we were talking about that like 2 weeks ago. You were painting and you were doing just that. And I was like, well, there's actually a name for that. So it's called glazing. So once watercolor dries, that's like your layer. So that's one layer of watercolor. Once it dries, you can go over top of it with another thin layer, another sheer layer, or a more intense layer of color, and you're glazing over top of that first layer. So
it was like painting all over again.
Yeah.
Even a favorite page that I had, I'm like, oh, I get to do it again.
Yeah. I love this realization of that I don't use a mixing palette. I often do not. I'm not going to I'm not going to tell you I don't ever. I mean, I have them here, you know, they're here. They exist in my world. But I don't rely on them terribly heavy. I'll show you one of my palettes that I use a lot. This is my Schminka palette. Oh, I just give me another one. It's fine.
Okay.
Sorry. I need to be so bossy.
You're fine.
Just get me another one. This is my Schminka palette. I have never cleaned this palette, these areas. So that just shows you how little I use mixing.
That's a fun picture. I gotta take a picture of that later.
Mixing palette. So I've never cleaned off these panels. So.
That's very fun.
Yeah, it is fun. Thanks. Okay, let's do some leaves. Yup. Just start adding. I'll see my water's not terribly clean. But no, I don't want to panic about it. It's okay. One I do often if I'm really settling in for a longer painting session is I will have 2 containers of water and have one where I'm using for rinsing and another that I'm using to pick up clean water for using on my page. So just a fun little thing that I do. I actually think a bunch of artists do it. I'm not that, you know, special. I come up with that one.
Watercolor is relaxing.
It is.
It's fun.
I'm just dabbing in here. Dab, dab, dab.
Reminds me of the ocean. Just kidding.
Kind of does remind me of the ocean.
It's calming.
It is.
Relaxing.
So I'm going between using the tip of my brush for small areas here and using the edge of my brush, flipping it around. Just, you know, obviously I've been doing this for a long time, and I've also been painting these particular patterns over and over again for quite a while for different things. So I've got a little bit of muscle memory on my side.
That's so interesting.
So like I kind of know like, oh, this little tiny spot, flip the brush, big spot, press down more. But you'll get that as you go. You will find yourself one day all of a sudden and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I kind of just did that without thinking. Like, you know how like when you I mean, it's been a really long time since I recall not having a driver's license, but I remember one of the first times that I drove home, but I didn't really remember how I got home. And of course we do that all the time now as adults. Like you drove, yeah, probably singing in the car. You're right. You drove home, but you don't remember at all how you got there. And eventually, you get that with your painting. Like you just kind of like have an instinct about it. And so, yeah, I mean, is that something you should worry about developing and like freak out if you don't feel like you have this instinct for how to hold your brush? No, just keep putting paint on the page and having at it. You know, don't stress about it. And see, okay, so we have someone, I worry, and I'm sorry I don't know your first name. I worry if I mix on the paper, I'm going to scrub too hard. I mean, valid concern. The thing is let the water do what it does. If you feel the need to scrub on the page, I believe, without being there with you, next to you, that you don't have enough water on the page. That's all. My blue flower turned out awesome. I painted the middle yellow and let it bleed out. And then when it dried a bit, I painted the middle circle a dark purple. That sounds incredible. I love it. Thank you for sharing your blue flower victory. I'm super excited about that, Lori. I'm serious. I love actually that you took the time to describe how you painted it. And I think that's also something that we can do is get comfortable with the vocabulary and learning how to describe what we're doing. It can be really cathartic and meditative too. So I'm just messing down here with the leaves. I started with just some dirty water apparently, and now I'm just dabbing in colors here and there. You don't have to. Okay. So I would just say if you're worried about mixing on the paper, just practice. You know, again, don't use your book that you're loving and wanting to keep awesome. If that is something that's giving you some stress, just practice on another page. You know, for example, I'm going to do a little bit on the scrap here. I'm laying down some water, and I'm going to try to hold this paper as flat as I think I can. I'm going to add some green over here, and I'm going to add some yellow over here. And you can even use changing the angle and having that be how the colors mix together. So you don't have to scrub. You can also, thank you, Rena.
You're welcome.
Mix your brush, clean your brush and add some water. This is something I call flooding, and push with very light dabs.
Good.
Push the colors next to one another, and they start to mix. And both of those techniques, neither of them required very much contact or pressure on the page. Ah, yes. How do I feel about water brushes that you fill with water and then squeeze on the page? I have water brushes. I tend to use them when I'm working with my watercolor markers. So like my Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers that I do have a video of those, a couple. I don't tend to use them in my books. And I'm not sure, I think it's because I really use a lot of water. And I think for me, it's just too much of a hassle because I keep having to refill the brush. So let that maybe be a lesson too with your water brushes. You're going to be inclined not to use as much water on the page with them, just by the nature of how they function. So I do love them. They're great for me with the watercolor markers, but I don't use them as much beyond that. Yeah. Hey Katrina, thanks for hopping onto the stream. So we've been talking about, and thanks for commenting actually too. So we've been just deep diving into the new Art for Joy's Sake journal. By vote, we decided to paint the pomegranate fig page, and we've just been painting. I've got my friend Raina here with me who has some experience with watercolor, but I made her use the Dagger Brush tonight. So she's having fun with that. So yeah. Someone says I find water brushes hard to control. So I only use them with watercolor pencils. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yay.
Well, you're going to have your own line soon.
Oh, yeah.
Online of everything.
Online of everything.
That's right.
I've been working on it.
Yes, you will.
Been working on it.
What's this color? It's like a brownish
It's
red.
like it's more pink than you think it's gonna be.
Really? Can I try it in a leaf?
Yeah, try it.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
fun.
neat. That's a pretty color. It's a nice pomegranate color.
Mm-hmm.
Is it named pomegranate?
We can name it. It's named a collection of Chinese characters.
Okay.
That's all I can tell you.
Which characters? Just kidding.
I can't flow the water well from the water brushes. Yeah. You know who makes an excellent water brush, and I'm not like an official endorser or whatever you want to call it of their product, but is Brea Reese. Brea Reese makes a really incredible water brush. The water control is pretty incredible, so you might want to check them out. Yay, so fun. Guys, more questions. I mean, your questions have been ridiculously awesome. So I want to show you a little more close up of how that color mingled together on its own with just a little bit of inertia tipping the page. Really, really cool. So take a look at that.
Somebody said it's hard to find the Dagger Brush.
It
Bye.
is hard to find the Dagger Brush.
We have like 15 of them here.
I know.
You bought them all, Kristy.
I know. So the Dagger Brush, the comment is hard to find it, and lately it has been. I'm not sure what's going on. When you go to Royal Brush Art, I think it's .com, they still list it on their site, but when you go to shop for it, it's not there. They just actually sponsored brushes for one of my editorials and sent me like 15 of them, which was awesome. Thank you guys so much. So they obviously still have them. So I don't know if there's just a major shortage or whatnot. I did go ahead and look today. It's not prime, but it is on Amazon. It's a pack of 6 of them, the 1/4-inch dagger. Oh, sure. That are available on Amazon. It's a 6-pack. It's like $21. Very, very good price. Walmart has the single 1/4-inch daggers for $10, which is ridiculous. Do not buy them from Walmart. I don't know why they're so inflated. It's very strange. Yes. So the question was the book. It's the Art for Joy's Sake journal that we're working in tonight. It's a brand new book. Oh, thank you. Brand new book. Just came out on Monday, on the 28th.
Look at that gold.
Yay! And show them the gold edges.
Yeah.
I love them so much.
Boom.
Why am I whispering?
I don't know.
So that's what we're working in tonight. So tips for using the blow dryer or the heat tool. I don't own a heat tool. I haven't used it. Blow dryer, yes. Here's the thing. They are $2.42 each. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're supposed to be under $3 each. Karen, have you seen them anywhere recently? Maybe I'm missing. So anyway, I use a hairdryer from time to time, but honestly, I don't a lot. This is going to sound crazy, guys, but I personally feel like the hairdryer also changes the way the watercolor looks. I know that sounds crazy. What? Oh, that's okay. I personally feel like the hairdryer definitely changes the finish of the watercolor. Call me crazy, call me old school. I have no idea. So I typically, like, when the area is wet, I just kind of like let it go for a while and it dries and I move on. But I know that's a really simplistic answer and I don't mean to be like weird about it, but yeah, I don't use hair dryers much.
Karen Smith, is that Karen Smith from high school? Or different Karen Smith?
I'm sure it's a different Karen Smith.
We went to high school with a girl named Karen Smith.
We did. That's right, I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you, Angela. I love coming on here and I love painting, but I always feel really like weird about endorsing my book and like pushing, because I'm not pushing. I don't want to push anything because these are things like if someone else made this book, I would buy it. It's something that I actually really love. It just happens to be mine. So
good girl.
Oh, she says yes, it's me.
Karen! Oh my goodness! This is awesome.
Oh my gosh,
How
that
have
is
you
so
been?
crazy.
Right.
That's crazy. Hi,
Wow.
Karen.
Aw.
That's so funny.
Karen, you should come here.
Oh my gosh, she
You
should.
used to live back here?
Oh my gosh, that is wild.
We should have a painting party.
Like
you
seriously,
said.
I have like, how many subscribers do I have? Like 12,000? And that blows my mind, by the way. And
Aw.
there's someone from high school on here.
That's sweet.
So cool.
You
Anyway.
have fans.
Oh, stop.
Come on, everybody loves Kristy's stuff, right? She's pretty
Stop.
amazing.
Stop.
Yeah.
Were you going to hit me?
No.
I saw
No.
your hand come up and I didn't know what was
Mm-mm.
happening. I thought you were going to like be like, shut up.
That's so awesome. Does Karen respond if she lives
No,
around here?
Karen, we didn't know that.
I thought, and then I'm like, well, there could be a lot of Karen Smiths.
Well,
That's
yeah.
why I asked. But
I mean,
it makes it even more special now.
It does.
Aw. Are you still in the area? Did she respond yet?
She did. She says it's her.
I'm sorry. She's probably painting.
Yeah, you're interrupting her.
I'm sorry.
Stop it.
Well, I'm sorry. Oh.
Paint. I think you should paint that, and I'm not going to tell you
It's
what
at
to do.
a funky angle.
Do
Okay.
it.
You know, guess what color I'm going to do it.
That red color.
How'd you know?
Really?
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew it.
We're a lot of
Yeah, she says she's still local.
Aw.
That's it. You got to come and paint live
Mhm.
one night. That's
Get in the
it.
car right now. You'll be here in a couple minutes.
You're hysterical.
Well,
Well,
Straight down the
it's
road.
almost over.
oh, I know. All right, I'm supposed to paint this.
Paint.
Painting. Painting for Joy's sake. So how did you come up with the name of your book?
So in 2013, I went through a rough time mentally, and I do tell the story a lot because it's how all of my books came to life. So I had a rough time mentally. I stopped painting for myself. I got really super focused on what the client wanted, and I kind of lost my own sense of self as an artist. So I started somehow through I was having a lot of anxiety and a lot of depression.
Like most of us do.
Like most of us do. And somehow through that, got the gumption to start painting again. Gumption, there's that word again. I would literally sit in my living room at night, which my living room has horrible lighting for painting. It's like a cozy room. But I didn't care. I would just sit there and I would have a little tray table in front of me with whatever art supplies that I could scrounge up at the house. At that point, I didn't even have a home studio really set up like I do now. Yay, I'm glad you found the book. So I started painting a lot just for myself. I remember I was painting a lot of like flowers in Roseville pottery, like almost like a still life. Because I collect Roseville pottery and I've never told this part of the story about the pottery. It's really weird.
Good. It's all new.
And so I would paint these like crazy still lifes, which still lifes are not my thing, but I would do them. And so I did start sharing them on Instagram, and I started using the hashtag. I was like, because, growing up, my art teacher, Sue Hand, would always talk about art for art's sake, which is a very well-known movement. And, where it's about creating art just for the sake of it existing for no commercial purpose. So one day, I don't know how I came up with it. I'm like, art for joy's sake. And I was like, man, gumption is an awesome word. Is it okay to say where the brush is? Yes, please. I'd like to know where the brush is. $2.42.
Wow.
Please. Rena, that is so beautiful.
Thanks. I'm gonna add some gold.
Dude, that's gorgeous.
Thanks.
You want a trick to fix that? Watch.
Oh yeah, with the.
Just use your finger.
Okay.
You might have smudged it a little. Nope. Just use your finger. Dry finger.
Okay.
I just showed Raina a little trick. A dry finger, when you go outside the lines, just take your finger and kind of swipe back, and that usually will take it away.
I've been looking at this color all night, and I don't know what it does.
It's shimmery.
I'm loading it up, and I'm putting it on.
It's shiny. Shiny.
It's gonna be pretty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I started sharing on Instagram. I was painting and using the hashtag, and now a whole ton of people are sharing and using the hashtag. And at that time in my life, I was really thinking a lot about the distinction between happiness and joy. I kind of revisited, it's really a terrible word, but I don't know how else to say it. I kind of recommitted myself to my faith at that time. And we're not promised happiness all the time. I don't think we're promised happiness, period. But we are promised joy.
That's right.
We're promised joy in our, you guys know I'm a believer. Joy in our God, in our Savior. And so, he gives us gifts and talents and these abilities and even if you don't feel like you have a talent yet in painting, you have an ability, and you also have an interest and a passion, and that is given to us. And so those gifts and talents, abilities that we're given, those passions, those curiosities, that's where you find your joy. That's where your joy lies, because joy is unshakable. I've been using the phrase unshakable joy. I definitely need to turn that into a hashtag.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Lori. And so watercolor for me was about finding unshakable joy. So no matter what was going on in my life, no matter if 5 clients had booked in a week or no clients had booked in a week, whatever was going wrong or right, I could find joy on the page. And so I had an idea for a book. And in the first book, even though it was called Painterly Days, I still talked about art for joy's sake. Amen. Yes. And so that's how it started. Art for joy's sake has always been part of the books. And now the Art for Joy's Sake journal, it kind of comes front and center. So I dive more deeply into the idea of art for joy's sake and how to get it and how to harness it and how to keep it in your life and how to keep that joy resonating day in and day out. So
Actually, your faith brought us together because we were not, we graduated high school together, but
we did.
me and Kristy were never really friends in high school. We used to sing together, but yeah, the church brought us back together.
Yeah, it did.
That's
Definitely.
awesome.
Definitely.
I don't know what I'm doing. Just so you know, this person with the hand is not Kristy. This is not me. This is not her.
You are funny.
What? I just want them to know that they're watching. They're not watching you paint.
Stop.
This
This has been super fun tonight, guys. I really appreciate you coming on. You know what somebody asked before, and I did not answer the question, is I believe, if I get this wrong, you can, if you're still here, repeat the question. But how do you manage painting out to the edge? Hold on, we're going to stop. There's a little bit of a paint emergency. So here's the scenario. An ugly streak of a staining color like phthalo blue accidentally ends up in the middle of your work. It won't lift. What do you do? That is such a good question. First, absolutely 100% let that area dry completely before you attempt anything. Stop touching it because you break down the paper. Let it dry completely. After that, I would probably try to do something with opaque paint, acrylic or gesso. If you're really tight and stuck, whiteout. Seriously. And just try to cover it with something opaque. And you'll be fine. Turn it into a textural red flower or something that's going to cover that staining thing that happened. So that's what I would do. Growing up, I was taught to be a purist and not to rely on mixed media to fix my painting problems. And I find I break that rule all the time. I'm going to address that second question. I love to break the rule. I do mixed media often because it's fun and it just gives you instant gratification sometimes. And I'm sorry, but with painting, there is nothing wrong with instant gratification. So the question was, okay, yes, I'm gonna answer. Wow, I love questions, guys. So you wouldn't try to incorporate it in somehow. Yes, you could try to incorporate it in somehow, get a pencil, try to draw in something else into the area. It would really depend. So for example, on the page here, if the phthalo blue accident happened in this open background area, I probably would try to like draw in an extra kumquat and see if I could cover it. But again, it's the most important thing is, can whatever you do, is it going to cover that phthalo blue? That's what you got to wonder about and worry about. Not worry about, but so my thing is with a phthalo blue, that's going to be hard to cover with sheer watercolor. That's why I went immediately in my head to an acrylic paint covering it. Or you could make it a blueberry. You could draw in some blueberries, something that's blue, and incorporate it that way. Absolutely. Yeah, so painting to the edge. I just try not to have too much water going on when I get right to the edge because you can risk it kind of bleeding onto the next page. Or to be super, super, super duper safe, just get, take another painting, the back of another painting, and put it underneath and just have at it. Then there's no worries. My cat walked through a painting once. I almost had a stroke.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm not laughing.
that's really fun.
you got to roll with the punches. Amen.
Accidents
We
happen.
actually used to have kittens in the studio at one point years ago. We found a bunch of stray kittens and it was a whole thing. And the kittens started walking on the wet invitations. And so I'm very familiar with that flavor of stroke. Yes, no fun. You guys want to see something fun from the next book that is like a year from being out?
Ooh, sneak peeks.
Sneak peek.
Woo.
Because I just happened to grab this to show how to paint up yet. So this is a little tutorial that is in my next book that'll be out sometime, I think, in 2020.
That's so pretty.
Yeah, so it's a whole tutorial on how to paint so a textile, something that looks like fabric. So you saw it first here.
Wow. Sneak peeks. You're so fancy.
She always calls me fancy. Not sure why, because I am like about as unfancy as they come.
Oh, please.
Mm.
You're awesome. And I love your
You're
jewelry.
awesome. Thank you.
This is fun.
Where did that come from?
What?
The jewelry.
I love your jewelry.
Oh, are you staring at my ring?
It's bold, baby.
I love this ring.
Mm-hmm.
I try to wear it whenever I'm painting live because it just is awesome.
Everybody, you need to see Kristy's nails. Kristy has the coolest nails all the time.
Wait, we gotta get
Show me where to put them.
with that.
I did not paint them. I have a girl, Heather.
Look
If
at
you're
that.
watching, I know you're not. Love you, Heather. Hand it to Heather.
Look at these.
on
They're beautiful.
Instagram.
Yeah, right?
Thanks,
Look at that.
Raina. I'm not sure they
Love
care
it.
too much about my nails.
Yeah, well, they're art. We are
Okay,
art.
Thank you.
She's got gumption with her nails.
Oh, look at you, Lori. A piece of wet magic eraser will work. But yeah, be careful not to scrub too hard. I love the new look for 2020. Thank you. Yes, queen. I love it. You guys are funny. When you're learning, it's so hard not to throw up your hands when accidents happen. It absolutely is.
Oh, no. I thought that was purple. That's an accident.
Okay. Clean your brush. Drop. Okay, so we have an accident. Mayday, mayday. We have an accident. What just happened?
It went.
What does that do?
I don't know why I did that.
Why did you do that? Okay. Drop a whole bunch of water onto there.
Are you serious?
So she put a color. No, just do it. Don't touch the paper. She's dropping water onto her accident color.
Okay.
Clean water. I know this is scary. Okay. Now blot it straight up and down. Don't scrub. Just blot up and okay. Do it again on a clean part. How much do you love me right now?
You're awesome. You saved my pomegranate.
I did.
Oh,
So it's a great little trick. If you've just put down color that is, quote, wrong in your head, just quickly clean your brush and then drop without touching the page or that color again. Drop some big drops of wet, clean water on top and then blot with a paper towel.
here's the purple.
I want to, you know what? I want to show them something else because
Okay.
I have a hard time keeping secrets. So.
Uh-oh.
No,
You're
wait.
seeing
I
something
no,
else?
I just want to show them the inspiration for that painting. You were around when I did this.
Yeah, I was going to say, but I didn't say it.
So I'm bringing back the painting from the next book, which is so crazy. I can't believe I'm talking about the next book. So I, in this next book, I encourage everybody to grab a swatch of fabric that they love so much, and talk about how to recreate it in watercolor in a whimsical way. So that was my inspiration fabric.
An old couch.
Ouch! Yes, an old couch. Why do I keep hitting myself tonight?
I don't know. Because we're in tight quarters?
We are. We're like super duper cozy.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right. Anybody have any questions? I read an article today about the magic eraser. That actually terrifies me, I have to say. Like, I kind of want to try it, but the magic eraser on a watercolor painting like freaks me out. But freaks me out just enough that I'm definitely going to try it.
Do you have any here?
No. I have some down at the house.
What an interesting idea, though, that they
It
came
is.
up with. So
Yeah, it's awesome.
kudos for your gumption with the magic eraser.
Kudos. Oh, I'm hungry.
Me too.
Wasn't Kudos like a candy bar?
Yes, it was.
Is it still a candy
I
bar?
don't know.
I'm hungry.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
I love you.
You too. So, guys, we're gonna start wrapping up. This has been super fun. We've been on for an hour and 15. like an hour and almost an hour and a half
Oh
almost.
my word, time
Yeah.
flies. Time flies. when
No
you're
cards, books,
painting.
home furnishings, so much cool stuff. I might as well put a paycheck under deposit.
Mm.
You're sweet. That's really sweet. Thank you for being so supportive. I appreciate it. Yeah.
More water. Gotcha.
Yeah. Try the eraser. Let me know. Just come back to this and comment and let me know how the eraser went for sure. I'm gonna put definitely check out the information area below after the broadcast ends. I am going to, if you guys haven't signed up for my newsletter, I'm gonna put a spot there for you to do that because I've been sending out more and more fun information. You know, kind of like exclusive pre-release type of information out through the newsletter. So if you want to sign up, I would highly recommend it.
Did I just kill my pomegranate?
Yeah, test it first on a scrap. Indeed, right? Raina is going to town.
Yes, I am.
She's gone rogue, guys.
I zone out and zone in, and
She's
then...
gone completely rogue. I love it. I knew that was going to happen.
Did you?
I knew you weren't going to follow me.
Is that
I
why
keep
you're
using
here?
your paper towel.
That's
I don't
alright.
know where mine went.
It's all good. We dabbed with it. It's right here.
All right. Okay. So, thank you so much. Thanks, Janice. I had a blast.
Yay.
I know Raina had a blast. And so next week, I'm going to keep trying to be loyal to this time spot, or at least to this day and going live. Next week, I will be in Utah. I'm in Utah for the next 3 weeks, which is, I'm kind of bummed. I mean, it's a good thing. I'm going to a nice place and I get to relax and paint a whole bunch. So I get sad when I leave home. So, but I will be in Utah, and I'm really going to try to go live in Utah next week. It may be a daytime thing because come on now, I'll be in Utah on the Red Rock and you're going to want to see that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I think I'm going to do a live during the day. So most of you will probably be rewatching it. But I'm excited about that. And then we get home from Utah, guys. If you know me, if you follow me on Instagram, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I share everything. We are adopting another baby.
Yay.
And baby is coming sometime between now and the middle of December. It's a little bit of a strange thing. We don't quite know what's happening. So thank you guys so much. I look forward to seeing you next week. And do me a favor, guys. Definitely sign up for the newsletter. It'll be in the information section soon tonight. And then also tell your friends about my new live streams because they're super fun, right? We sing, we tell jokes, we hit each other. No, I'm
We'll
kidding.
get more comfortable.
Yeah, I'm comfortable.
We're gonna
What's
be a
wrong
blast.
with you?
No, I'm good. I'm just painting the girl.
Okay.
I'm good.
So tell your friends all about it. Yay. So thanks so much, guys, and definitely comment here with questions. If you rewatch this, I want to hear your questions, and reach out to me, Instagram, DM, email. Thanks, guys, so much. Have an awesome night and happy painting.
Bye.